Hello, happy Monday. It is morning for some of you guys, but it is already afternoon here. Super excited for a whole new week. The vibes were kind of low, but it kind of shifted them. It doesn't help that it's raining again, but it is what it is, and it is just all a part of the experience, the lesson that that we all have to master. Okay, so today is Mindful Monday, and I wanted to kind of share a little bit about how my weekend kind of ended and how I'm going to shift that that mindset, if that's a perfect word. Okay, so I was highly triggered this past weekend, and it was very emotional. I want to say, like, there was tons of mixed emotion there. There was hurt, pain, anger, and just a release of all of that. And this all happened in a matter of like minutes, I want to say. And to some people you may kind of confuse this with bipolar, but in that moment I kind of felt that, and then kind of understood what it is to kind of shift from from so many different emotions in like a matter of a short period of time. Very interesting, I want to say. It has happened before, but not to this level, if that makes sense. And so earlier in the day, I had drew some cards for myself, because that's what I do on a Sunday. I draw cards for the week. Even though I do my tarot board still, I do a weekly card to kind of keep me centered and focused and be more mindful. And I drew 2 cards. I didn't pay attention to them, and I set them aside, should I say. And I didn't come back to it until this morning. When I read the cards, it was basically just a sweet reminder, for what happened yesterday. And this is all before this trigger happened. So it wasn't surprising or anything, because it's happened before. So it was more kind of like, okay, just a message waiting for me to read it at the right time, at divine timing. So the 2 cards that I drew were, if I can fetch them out, were the Page of Cups and the 10 of Wands. And when I immediately looked at this and how she's basically having her finger pointed up, it was basically, some of these as emotions, kind of balancing all of that and just taking control. And I don't like to say, I use control loosely, because control to me is like, we're not in control of much, we're co-creating with Gus Universe Source. So it's more of, just being more mindful of all of the emotions and just letting it kind of sink in. And then here, I didn't really get much from here, but it's more, I always, when, of course, a fire element is associated with wands. So that's what I think of this. It's just, again, taking control of those emotions and just using it to to your advantage, if I should say. Now, these are the words that I kind of wrote down. It's about spending, this week is about spending some time with my emotions. Even if things feel uncomfortable and unclear, I can choose to check in with my heart to be more mindful. And then a reminder is every step I take forward, I become more resourceful. My direction becomes more manageable and my energy naturally restores. All the resources you need are within you. So that's my little quote for this week. You know, just reminding me that all of the answers that I seek are within me. What I got from this reading is that I had a vulnerable moment yesterday, and that moment, you know, I sat with myself. I went through all of these different emotions. What I didn't do was document them, of course, because I was like, you know, just kind of like not fully there. But what I can take from it now is that, you know, it's okay to sit with yourself. It's okay to feel all of these emotions at the same time, to just dig deep and find out like what's going on. And it's okay if you don't understand it in that moment, but just know that the moment will come where you would understand it. It can take hours, it can take days, it can take weeks, it can take years, but just know that you will understand. You will get there. Now these emotions have always been there, but it is something that you kind of push back and try not to think about. And you know, it can not only take a toll on yourself, but it can take a toll on people around you. So the people involved with you, whether your immediate family, your friends, you know, distant family, you know, anyone you come across, you know, it has an effect on everyone. And you know, it comes a time where you have to deal with these emotions. You have to see why it's coming up as a trigger. Why is it what lesson is there for you to take out of it? You know, it's a certain heavy situation where you just have to not only lash out in like anger or just be completely overwhelmed, you know, with sadness or fear or hurt or, you know, whatever, but to be able to speak about it freely and clearly is what my message was. You know, triggers can be so confusing. You know, it can be something that you think it is and it is not. You know, and in this instance, it wasn't so much as a like, to me, I believe that it triggered me to be able to freely speak about this subject, you know, with whoever. And that's just something that, you know, I will figure out in the long run. But this week is it's pretty much just getting in tune with our emotions and not being afraid to sit with yourself and to ask yourself, you know, some questions. And I always like to do journaling prompt questions, you know, to give them out. and then some that I wrote down because I did journal today, and I will be sharing a hyperlapse of that attached to this video to kind of show you, you know, a vulnerable moment. Not exactly of what I wrote or what I journaled, but just how I sit with myself and just let my thoughts flow onto paper. So some questions that, you know, I will be asking myself throughout the week is, what are these emotions teaching me? What can I do to reteach myself so that the triggers are less painful, or I don't want to say, I guess, to where I would react differently if it were to come up again? And who do I need to forgive? And in what way can I give back to myself? As you know, it's very important to practice self-care. And when you're going through these vulnerable moments, you know, it's okay to take time out and to give yourself a while, because you need to put that energy back, you know, to put, instead of leaving that negative energy caused by the trigger, you want to give back to yourself and just give yourself love, give yourself just time, and I use that loosely too, but time, and just be with yourself. You know, sometimes we are so afraid of being alone, but sometimes our own company is what we really truly need. So these are going to be some questions I'm going to ask myself. I will leave them in a description so you can, you know, use them too. Yeah, this was kind of like sharing my reading, but I felt like it's something that we all should be working on, you know, not just this week, but try to continually work on throughout this month. It is definitely something that has been popping up for maybe a month or two now, but this past few months has been very like trigger, and it is okay. It's just a part of the journey. So if you're looking for some guidance and you need any affirmations, guidance, you can go on my website and choose one of the readings, and for the affirmations you are free to choose that as well. I love using affirmations, as you can see with the ones that are given, that I just gave you, and the ones that I usually read somewhere and just jot them down, because, you know, it's a sweet reminder to just kind of just remember, you know, something so specific as to looking within yourself. So check out for the sped up hyperlapse, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. As always, light and love.